Hey everybody, welcome to the channel, ET Drone Home Gaming, and tonight's Tyler Daniels Racing Next Gen Cup Series playoff race number 6, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We got a cutoff race tonight, and we got 8 drivers still eligible in the playoffs right now, and after tonight we're going to go down to 4, and those 4 are going to be fighting for the championship over the next 2 races. We got Josh Kelleher and Lonnie Mixon in the booth tonight. What's up, guys?
Ethan, how are you? Heck of a week, heck of a weekend. Glad to be here on a Sunday night. Tyler Daniels Racing on ET Drone Home Gaming on the YouTube channels. Yeah, we got Lonnie in the booth tonight, so we're mixing it up, getting some new people in here. Lonnie, how are you?
Mr. Josh, glad to be here. I'm here as a student. I'm an observer trying to learn the magic.
The gift.
So for those that aren't fully aware, when we do these broadcasts, I'm typically the one that basically has the reins. I've got all the controls at my disposal for changing the cameras, setting up the stream, and all that stuff. And Josh and Lonnie have said that they want to get involved, so that way we can stream on more than just Sunday nights. So the plan is get them acquainted with everything, and Lonnie's up here in the booth to try to get himself. I mean, he's been up here before, but he still wants to get reacquainted with it and get a good understanding of the flow of how everything works. So that way, once I hand the reins over to them for some of these other nights, that they'll feel comfortable and everything will go smoothly, I'm sure. I mean, it takes some time to get muscle memory down with things, but it'll be nice because we'll be able to do more than just Sunday. I'm sure they're going to want to ease into it, but we might be able to get to a point where we can have every night of the week broadcasted if we have enough people that want to be involved with it. So I think it'll be good for the league, and a lot of people like to go back, watch races, and some people like to be in leagues that are broadcasted anyway, and they're more inclined to show up. So, to me, there's not really any downfalls of what we're trying to achieve at the moment.
Yeah, some of the things that I've been talking about with the other racers, Ethan, is that it's like when those of us that did the Rolex 24, there was a lot of studying that went on before that race, watching other people race, as well as people getting in their car and practicing. And so once we start archiving these races, the different leagues throughout the week, once we develop a library that racers can go to, they can go back and watch the film, just like you hear about, football players, we watched a lot of film this weekend. Well, racing, you can do that too. And
Tuesday morning, yeah, Tuesday mornings in the garage, back at the shop.
What to do and what not to do. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, because it can be an absolute useful tool for many different aspects of the sim racing world. For people going back to see what they did, a lot of people will check the replay first is a very common thing, very common statement made here in the sim racing world. Is we are able to go check the replay. Comments are made over the on radio. So it's a useful tool for people to go back and to study their own craft, to see how they can get better for the next time they're at the track or racing that person that's going to be next to them. Because I often find myself in these situations a lot is me, after being in Tyler Daniels for a while, you find out like who you run with on a week-to-week basis, like your talent level, like you find out the people that are around your same talent level, and you find yourself running around them no matter what series you're in, week after week. Me, I think it would be Bob Cochran and Bob Burlow. I think I find myself running around those two week after week a lot, like next to each other, side by side, beating and banging, leaning on each other. So I like to go back and see in ways that like, well, what can I do better to get around him and not have him beat on me so bad, and that way I can take that position maybe the next time. So I absolutely agree. It's a useful tool.
It is. And one of the byproducts of Josh and I, excuse me, doing the streaming, the broadcasting, is that Ethan is a very talented wheelman. I mean, he's really good when he gets in a race car. And to have that skill set, that level of driver out there with the other drivers, I mean, it's like when I used to play tennis when I was a kid. You're never going to get any better if you don't play anybody better than you.
Hmm.
And it's true.
Yeah.
And so this may be able to free Ethan up where he can run more races if he wants to. And that will be another facet of Ethan's contribution to TDR and sim racing.
I'm sure he'd be loving to be out there more on the track too, for sure. It's discussions we've had, so it'd be good to see him out there. I know he's very excited to get into some next gen racing here in his league at Tyler Daniels Racing. So I'm sure you're excited for that, Ethan.
Yeah, it's been numerous seasons since I've been out there with these guys in the Cup Series, so it'll definitely be fun to have that opportunity again.
Pretty soon we'll be able to provide that to you. So sit back, folks. A whole bunch of things coming back down the pipeline here for Tyler Daniels Racing and at ET Drone Home on your YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit the subscribe, hit that like, share it, tell all your friends, tell your family. Come listen to our voices, watch some racing on a Sunday night. Good fun. You get a lot of banter in the YouTube chat room, so come join the fun, come join the action. We'll be here week after week pretty soon.
All right, we're gonna go quiet here just for a second. Get some race communication from uh, the head of TDR real quick, and we will be right back. All right. Alright, everybody, we are back. We got some valuable race information from Jim that we'll be sharing soon enough. About 4 minutes left in practice right now. Owen Lax with the fastest time. Jeremy Gaiman, Brian Boyd, Ryan Walter, Andrew Bisnett, all in the top 5.
You know, I just got a message from the track owner from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. They said the next 25 people down to the concession stand will get a free hot dog.
Free.
So a free hot dog. So if y'all are hungry, run down to the concession stand, get yourself one of those free hot dogs.
Hot diggity dog, man. I'll be right back.
All right.
I'll be staying away from them ballpark Franks here today. Had a nice dinner beforehand, so we'll be good to go.
Yeah, that was a monster lap that Owen Lax put down the 65, like 0.2 of a second faster than the second fast. Of course, this is only practice. Racing conditions might be a little bit different.
I absolutely have a feeling race conditions will be a little bit different.
Well, the track temperature is 114 degrees right now. Kind of greasy.
Race time, come race time, that could get a little bit cooler. That's what the drivers want, but I don't think Mother Nature's going to have it that way. I have a feeling it's going to stay nice and warm down there. Yeah, with Owen Lax with a 31.3, Jeremy Gaiman's not that far behind him in that 09 machine. He's only about 1/10 of a second slower, almost 2/10 of a second slower with Bisnett's also throwing down that same time. So those first top 5 for sure are so close in time between Lax, Gaiman, Bisnett, Boyd, and Walter. So it's going to be interesting to see who can actually lay down the fastest lap in qualifying, because we're just under 2 minutes in practice. So we will be getting to qualifying here really shortly. So we're going to have someone sneaking from behind to take that P1 spot in qualifying pool, or is it going to be one of the top 5? I don't know. There's too many good names up there to even try to pick, to think that who your favorite driver will be starting on the grid. Too many good drivers there.
There is. And the number 78 of Brian Boyd, he's been out of the car for a while.
Yeah, he has been.
With some stuff going on. But it's going to be exciting to see him back. He's always one to keep an eye on in these Cup cars.
Definitely keep an eye on it. Not so much of an aggressive driver, but he does push his way through, and he does try to let you know he's there. He'll race you clean, but he lets you know you're there. That's for sure. He's there, you're there, and he'll try to get on by you. More times than not. More times than not. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Short track racing, New Hampshire International Speedway would be if I was living back home, my home track, my favorite track. I wish I was in the car tonight because I love this track. So much fun. Talking a little strategy with the owner and all that stuff here, trying to get some information from him and giving him a little bit of insider info what I like to do here, because, man, I love this track. I love to do crossovers here. I love racing here in the modifieds, especially the trucks. I love because they stick here. But, man, I love doing some crossovers here. One of my favorite pastimes. Loudon is definitely nestled in the foothills of the White Mountains out there in the New Hampshire area. Traffic can be a nightmare. There's only about maybe 2.5 roads leading in and out of there. So traffic trying to get in and out of there on a NASCAR weekend is you might want to pull up and pitch a tent while you're waiting to get out of traffic. That's for sure. It does take a while. I think it probably, I think one year it took longer to get out of traffic than it did to take the drive home from Loudon to Springfield, Massachusetts, back to my house. So Traffic,
Wow.
if you leave at the wrong time, can be really bad. There's not that many roads going into the track. It's nestled in the heart of New England, so you're in the wooded area, all there, the mountainous area, and it's only a couple roads, but it's really pretty driving in and out of there. That's for sure.
Well, that's definitely not how Owen wanted to go into the corner there to start his qualifying lap, but he never took the green, so he's able to reset.
Yeah, the track is cooled down 1 whole degree. So the
One whole
track is
degree.
113 degrees track
Heck yeah.
temperature now.
And we got Ryan Walter out on the track as well. So far, we got some qualifying takers. Ty Bostic, Owen Lax is out there. Jeremy Gaiman, Ryan Walters, Bob Burlew, Andrew Biznet's there. So we'll start to see some qualifying times come in on the tower on the left-hand side of your screen. This here's qualifying for the Tyler Daniels Next Gen Racing Sunday Night Next Gen Series. So far, Ryan Walters, 49 Chevy DEP Devil's Fit Chevrolet, is throwing down a 31.32 with Andrew Biznet. Not too far behind him. 22, about two tenths of a second. Ty Bostic throwing down one, 0.53 seconds, a little bit slower. And Agile Biznet threw down just for 1 second, was on the pole. It looks like Ryan was able to beat him out there.
Yeah, once these guys go out on these tires and the tires get a little sticky on them, second lap is usually a little bit faster. Looks like Ryan Walter was able to squeeze, 2 tenths more out of qualifying speed than he did during practice.
You think it could have been maybe that degree or two track temperature difference that maybe allowed him to get a little bit faster?
Or the new
Yeah,
tires they use for qualifying.
Yeah, true. Dana Shepard's out trying to throw down his qualifying laps, see if he can be enough to get him into that P1 or at least in the top front row. This is his definite home track, him being from New Hampshire. So he's eager to have a good race here tonight in that DEP Racing Chevy Fat Chick Shocks and Accessories number 44.
But he got up into the fifth position with that lap. 31.
Yeah,
41.
Owen Lax, he won practice with a 31.08, and his qualifying was a 31.2. Some doing better, some not so much. Chuck McDonald on the track.
That's a tough cookie driver, I would call him. It's hard to get around no matter how many laps down he is. He's tough to get around.
He is the Ryan Newman of TDR.
Absolutely agree.
It doesn't matter what position you are. It doesn't matter if you're in the lead. He is just as hard to get around in that scenario, or if you're fighting for 30th.
Chuck, tough cookie McDonald.
And Chuck is one of our Canadian drivers.
Hey. One of our, I think we have 2 or 3, don't we? We have 2 or 3 here in the league, I believe.
Well, we got 2 tonight, Chuck McDonald and Dale Power.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of any others that I was remembering that was from up north. Too cold for me up there. I'll visit, but I'm not going to live up there.
Yeah. Okay, I'm down here in Panama City, Florida, and I try my best not to go north of Montgomery, Alabama, because it gets really cold up there.
Yeah, you're not lying. I love my summer though, so I would fare well in the south. Absolutely, think I would do well because I'm used to humidity, even though it'll be a little bit more. But I love the summer. If I can go out in the middle of December with flip flops or some slides, anything like that, I'm a happy man. That is absolutely for sure. Half an hour drive to the ocean. Oh, I miss that. I miss that in my life.
Well, even like right now, the I think this coming week, the high temperature down here is going to be in the low 60s, and you can tell the people that are visitors from up north because they are the ones that are wearing flip-flops and short pants now.
Mhm.
But the indigenous people, the people from Panama City, we're still wearing, long
Parkas.
pants
Yeah.
yeah, a
And
jacket.
parkas. Hmm. Got your either your Dolphins jacket on or your
You're wearing
Buccaneers
your toque.
jacket on. Yeah.
What did Bob McKenzie used to call it? A toque?
A toque. Yeah, I remember. That's an old word. My gosh. Dating us now. Don't date us
Okay,
anymore, Lonnie.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
It's experienced.
It is
Experience.
experience, yes. Mature experience. And here we are
Yes,
sim
sir.
racing. Love it. Let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it looks like everyone that's gonna take a time has gone ahead at this point, unless one of these other three that we have sitting on pit road decides to go out. So while we're waiting, let's go ahead. We're gonna look at the current points situation, and you'll see here that Chuck McDonald currently sitting atop of the points here in this elimination race, uh, and basically the drivers 5th through 8th. So Bob Burlew, Jim Downham, Dale Power, and Dale Weiser. They are on the outside sitting, looking in right now. Uh, your final four, if it ended just right now, would be Chuck McDonald, Ryan Walter, Jeremy Gaiman, and Ty Bostic fighting for a championship. But there's only 4 points separate Ty and Bob, and 7 points between Ty and Jim, 10 between Ty and Dale, and I would say unfortunately for Dale Weiser, he's not here, so he's definitely not going to be advancing into the championship round. But definitely still possible for Bob and Jim and Dale to at least have a shot. But they're going to need those guys up there to have a bad race tonight.
That can happen here. I mean, it's short track racing, so it may be only a mile long track. It's still considered a short track, the way you have to drive it into the corners. So that could happen. Bad races will happen at any track, but if it's going to happen, it can't happen at New Hampshire. And if you have a bad day at New Hampshire, it's going to set you back a little bit because those cars can't get around pretty quick in the short time that you're trying to get some repair done. So be very, very track aware out there tonight, boys, because you don't want to get eliminated tonight. You want to make it, so be track aware.
All right, well, they should be gridding up here.
Yeah, looks like the on-track
Any,
ceremonies are just getting set up,
so
and their
we'll go ahead
command to
and
fire engines are going.
we'll take a look at the race info for tonight. So here at New Hampshire, it's a 1.03 mile oval. A lot of people know it as the Magic Mile. It's 112 degrees Fahrenheit for the track temperature. Air temp 78 degrees Fahrenheit. We've got a race length of 90 laps. There is no fuel window tonight because they are going to have plenty of fuel. They won't need to pit at all for fuel, but if we have cautions, I fully expect them to go and get tires because they have unlimited sets. The pit road speed is 45 miles per hour, and everyone's going to get one fast repair. And then as soon as the stewards call the end of this qualifying session, we'll get the grid up for you.
Yeah, well, all the festivities, pre-race festivities have wrapped up. The cars are gridding up. The command to fire up the engines have been given.
So we've
Lonnie, did you want to go through the starting order?
I will. We have 14 cars with us tonight. Starting in 14th is Gary Wright in the number 60. Starting in 13th is Tyler Daniels in the number 25. Starting in 12th is, well, your list looks different than my list.
no, you're
That's
good
okay.
where you are. Go keep rolling with it, Lonnie.
Sounded good,
Okay.
bud.
Okay. Uh, Derek Donna in the number 215 is starting 12th. 11th is Bob Burlow. He's in the championship race. Starting 10th, this is your top 10. Is that Willpower or is it Dale?
Dale Power.
Dale Power. Starting in 10th place, 37. 04, Chuck McDonald. He's in the championship. So's Mr. Power. Let's see. Brian Boyd in the number 78 is starting 8th. Jim Downham, another championship driver, starting 7th. And Jeremy Gaiman in the '09 is starting 6th. So your top 5, Dana Shepard is starting in 5th in the 44 car. I don't know Bostic. Is that Dana?
That's Ty Bostic.
Ty Bostic. I'm sorry. I'm new, guys. Bear with me. Starting in 4th place, outside second row, Ty Bostic in the 72. Inside second row, starting in 3rd, Andrew Biznett, number 69. Outside front row, Owen Lax in the 65. And Ryan Walter won the pole with a time of 31.09 seconds, almost 2/10 faster than the outside pole. Ryan Walter in the number 49. A couple of laps to get everything warmed up in the race cars, get some heat in the tires before we go racing. It ought to be fun.
And just so everyone knows, that again, in the 9th spot currently, you'll see on the left-hand side on the scoring pylon, the 37 does have a P in parentheses. I'm not sure why we have an issue with his name there, but that is Dale Power in the 37 car. So just P for Power is what we're gonna go with.
Okay, so I'll DJ Scratch and Sniffle stop over here. All right, so it looks like the pace car is dipped inside on pit road, and we are going to go green flag racing here in just a few moments. Here we go. Ryan Walter did get a good jump there to take lead out into that top spot, leaving the 2nd and 3rd spot of Andrew Biznett and Owen Lax to fight for the 2nd and 3rd spot. Meanwhile, he's going to be able to get a few car lengths away from those guys as they battle it out. Owen Lax just really sends it in there in the high side.
And the interesting thing about this place is that even though it's a relatively flat track, there's still different lines that you're going to see people take. Some guys like to stay low, some guys like to stay higher. But where it gets dark there, you see how it's darker there as you get about halfway up the track. You typically don't want to get up that high. A lot of times it gets very loose up there. There's not a whole lot of grip. Pretty much where that 49 is there, that's pretty much where the limit is.
Like everybody's pretty much settled out nose to tail while they get everything, getting their cars filled out. The track temperature is a little bit cooler now. For practice, it was 114. For qualifying, it was 113. It's 111 now.
That's got to throw the teams off a little bit with their strategy and tire pressures if this keeps dropping a little bit. So they come in to get 8 tires. They may mess around with the tire pressures just a tad bit to try to even up and get a better flow out of the car, especially going into these turns here, which can get a little tight, those tires, and your grip starts going away. You'll either get really loose or you'll get really tight. There's no in between here at the Hampshire International Speedway for certain. A win here is sweet, but it can be a very unforgiving track. Many races have found that out the hard way here.
Looks like Jim Downham is trying
Ryan
to.
Walters
Oh,
just
Ryan Walter just had a incident there, and looks like he got loose and got a little bit of contact in the inside wall.
yeah, it looks like it bent up his left front part of the fender there, so it shouldn't be too bad. Aerodynamics is not too much of an issue here, but airflow could be on a hot day, so keep an eye on him. Looks like he's away and down and away, and he's making his way down the backstretch. So
Just a quick little replay here. You can see that, yeah, as all it was is he got loose off the corner, and hopefully he doesn't have too much damage, that he can at least get to the first pit stop whenever they choose to do so.
that's a tough break because he was running really, really strong here. So I wondered if he might have pushed it in a little too hard, got loose. I'd love to hear what happened later on.
Brian Boyd looking at the inside of Ty Bostic there, trying to take the third position away as he is going to be able to do so.
Yeah, that 78 car, Brian Boyd, he looks like he's up 5 spots since the drop of the green flag. So he's on a tear to try to get to the front. Another mover in the back is Dale Power. He's up 3 spots since the drop of the green flag in that 37 machine. So he's looking to get up to the front as quickly as possible as well.
We got another coming down of turn 4. Let's see who that was. That was Power. Had a little trouble coming out of turn 4.
It looks like that because a whole bunch of cars were able to get around him, like Downham, McDonald, and Walter were able to pass him. Bob Burlow's now passed him, put him back into the 11th spot. So some troubles for that machine, the Dale Power machine.
You can see that it looks like he's gonna he might be coming to pit road here, I think.
Yeah, and it looks like Dale Power's got the same exact damage that we saw on Ryan Walter's car.
Yeah, on the 49 machine.
Front.
Yeah,
Yep.
correct. Yeah, his looks a little bit more prominent than it did on the 49. It looks like the toe looks like it's a little messed up there. So I wonder if he's going to just go in and get a quick repair and some tires, or if he's going to sit there for a minute. I'll keep an eye on him while there's still some action going out on the track, as Owen Lax has run into the lead with Andrew Desmet in the second spot. Brian Boyd in the 78 machine is definitely making a tear, moving his way up to the top 5, along with Ty Bostic in the 4th spot, and Dana Shepard now in the top 5 in that 44 DEP racing machine. So your top 5 is heating up here with 10 laps of 90 in the TDR Next Gen Series racing on Sunday night. Hit that subscribe, like, and share.
Dale Power looks like he got his car fixed, but pulling into the pits, he overshot his pit, changed 4 tires, got some work done on his car, then forgot to take it out of reverse. So when he went to go, he went backwards first. Cost him a little bit of time, but he's back on the track now.
Yeah, he just pulled back out onto the track, and he's flying down the back stretch, trying to merge back in and blend in, make up some laps here. So one of the drivers here that'll be laps down, he'll definitely be hoping for a yellow flag, as we haven't had any of those yet here. It's been all green at New Hampshire International Speedway thus far. So he'll be hoping for a yellow flag to try to make some of these laps back up, to even try to contend for a win, because he is one of the playoff drivers here, and he does not want to get eliminated tonight. He wants to be one of the 4 to advance. So he's going to be looking for him to be on a tear to try to get back up and make some laps up.
Well, Josh, this is you're very familiar with this track. So I mean, we've got 12 laps in the books. When are these drivers going to feel the tires start to go away, do you think?
In the next gen cars, it's sometimes depending, especially with the new model that they do have with the tire grip and the weather and the AI like changing the weather as it goes along. I was finding that my tires were finally coming in on around laps 15 to 18 on a green flag run here, and then I found that I would say lap anywhere between 50 and 53. That's where my tires would be at a maximum. So I could do this with 1 tire pit stop here, I believe, to still contend for a good finish. But it's going to be interesting to see where they will be pitting tonight, if there's a yellow flag or not. But I would be safe to say, if I wanted, I would cut it in half since there's only 90 laps. So my strategy would be pit anywhere between 43 and 47. But I think I could push it to at least 50 laps on these tires, these Goodyear Eagles, on New Hampshire International Speedway's asphalt.
Yeah, it looked like there's a lot of drivers. There's so many different lines around this track going through the turns. Some are going high, some are taking the middle, some are entering low and washing up. So the tire management that you're talking about is really going to come into play here in another probably what, maybe 25, 30 laps.
Yeah, I absolutely agree because again, with that tire model, that the grip model that iRacing has incorporated into the simulator now, you're going to find guys trying to search for where the grip is. Like some cars, if they messed around with their offset, or if they played around with this or played around that on their fixed setup, may not run well on the bottom and may run better on the high side, where you'll find some guys here are running better on the low side. But the guys up on the higher side, you'll find may run their tires down a little bit quicker than the guys that are staying on that light gray patch there on the bottom, where they can conserve the tires a little bit more. So it's tough to say. It's tough to say with the tire model. It's tough to say where the grip's being laid down and the comfortability of the car and the driver. So it is tough to say. But I do agree with you wholeheartedly there. And I would look to see people starting to come in, most of these drivers starting to come in around the 43 to 47 lap mark if we stay under green flag conditions.
Yeah, we just watched Chuck McDonald get by Jeremy Gaiman, and Jeremy didn't put up much of a fight, so maybe he's on a conserved tire run this first bunch of laps here.
Yeah, I think he could be thinking about saving that there, because I'm looking at a couple other guys here as the 37. I was watching him come out of the pit, and he's looking to take the high groove around the whole track. He's not cutting down low. He seems to be staying off the light gray area and staying up in that rough groove on the outside. So I'm not sure where his thinking is there, because that's not what I would take myself. However, what may work for him wouldn't work for me.
Right.
So,
right.
Chuck McDonald did pass him for that 7th spot, and Jeremy Gaiman could be thinking, I need to save a little bit here, guys. Like, I expected probably a yellow flag by now, and we haven't even gotten it. And that might have thrown his strategy off, so he could be running a different line. And I'll just let him go. Again, Chuck McDonald's, and we were talking about that earlier. He's the Ryan Newman of the TDR here. And he'll run you hard no matter what position, and Jeremy may know that. And he's like, all right, you know what, Chuck? Go on by, bud. I'm not going to contest you for that right now. I mean, if that was lap 80 and 90, I don't think Jeremy may have let him by so easy. He may have contested a little bit more.
Well, boys, we got a battle for the lead here. Brian Boyd is all over the back bumper of Owen Lax.
Yeah, you're right. As we turn our attention to that, we
Brian
actually
gets really high there in turn 3 and 4. He's going to lose a lot of ground to Owen right here.
And that was just another example of if you keep an eye on the 65 of Owen Lax, he's elected to stay in that low line. And I was watching Brian where he's staying low now. He was running a high line there for a moment, which gave him some momentum. But he is on a tear as he's trying to get back up to the 65 of Owen Lax back bumper. You can test for the lead. Yeah, he's pulling it down a little bit harder in the turns there, where Owen's staying around the middle area to push out towards the wall on exit. But Brian's really cutting it in there, trying to gain some speed and some time up after that little bobble. But
Owen coming up on the bumper there. Bob Burlew is going to put Bob 1 lap down.
It looks like Bob's got a little bit of damage himself. Looks like he had maybe a little skirmish with the outer or inside fence. His front end wasn't looking too good there. Well, Brian was making a hard charge for him there, but he did throw it in kind of hard, and it slid him up there. So maybe he's trying to cool the tires down, possibly, maybe make another run for him. But he is slipping a little bit, as he had a 6/10, and he's dropped back to almost a second there on the backstretch. It cuts it down to about 7/10 of a second. So he is staying within a second of Owen Lax to try to make another run at him. We haven't had any other changes since then. Owen Lax continues to just keep about a second on the second place of Brian Boyd. And then not too much of a challenge behind Brian in third. There is about a 3-second gap between them, so it's not too much of a challenge. It's a little bit of a comfortable gap there for the time being. Should he get caught up to the bumper of the 65 machine.
Yeah, Owen Lax is slowly catching up to the number 37 power machine.
You can just listen here riding along with Dana how much throttle control is involved here. He's just ever so slightly, and he can't really ever get back into the throttle until he's almost got the car pointed completely straight.
His hometown, Putney, Vermont, not too far away from the track itself, so this would be his home track. Derek Donna as well. I know the 215 is in that area of New Hampshire and Vermont, so this would be his home track as well. He's looking for a good run tonight, running that number 215 DP Racing Fat Chick Shocks and Accessories machine as he wheels it around. So a lot of New England boys here tonight running some home track. I guess there would be a lot of home track guys here tonight. If you really think about it, so many people in this league that are from the New England area. Owen Lax is on the bumper there. Some lead traffic, lap cars.
Yeah, as Owen passed the 37 got up into the outside wall.
Taking a look at it, he was able to correct it, keep it forward, so it looks like he'll just continue on and maybe have the attention of the pit crew take a look at it when they decide to come in.
Yeah, he didn't hit it as hard as he did earlier. I mean, looking at his car, it's not as in bad a shape as it was that first incident that they had there. So.
Mm-hmm. So I know Ryan Walter had dropped back a little bit, and he is still currently sitting in the 9th after his little incident with the ball, so he's looking to try to maintain that and try to at least gain some positions. But up front, we still have the 65 of Owen Lax, 78 of Brian Boyd, second spot, trying to catch his bumper. And then Andrew Biznett still sitting in the 3rd spot. Ty Bostic in the 22 machine still sitting in the 4th. The 5th spot, Dana Shepard still running there in the 44 machine. You got Jim Downham in the 28 machine sitting in 6th. 7th, the 04, Chuck McDonald still sitting there. In the 8th spot, the 09 of Jeremy Gade. 9th, Ryan Walters in the 49 and sitting in 10th right now. This first car in the lap down is 215 of Derek Donna. Not too many major incidents tonight so far. Nothing catastrophic. Everybody's been keeping their cool and minding their P's and Q's, just running their lines. So that's been really, really good for most of them guys so far tonight. I guess if I could picture a mini Indianapolis, that's what it kind of looks like. Just not as squared out, right? Magic Mile. They also have a road course here, too. A lot of people don't know. They do some legend road course racing here. A lot of legend cars race down at Stafford and Thompson, and they do some road course racing up here during the summer, too. That's a sight to see when you see some legend cars running around the road course here. I think a lot of us are looking at the racing and thinking about football. I'm not a huge football fan. My team's out of it here, but I don't. If I had to go with anybody, I don't know who you guys got. You got Lions. Or you got the 49ers. We have three. We're in the third quarter, and it looks like it's tied. Lions and 49ers. Who you guys got in that game?
I'm pulling for the Lions. To my knowledge, they've never even been to a Super Bowl, so
Right.
certainly hoping that they can pull it out.
Well, we already know the Kansas City Chiefs have won that game. A lot of my family is 49ers fan, but you know what? I'm an underdog fan, and I would really like to see the Detroit Lions take one. Because I do believe you're right. I don't think this would be their first Super Bowl appearance. Not a huge sports buff when it comes to football, but I do believe it would be their first Super Bowl appearance, and that would be great to go see a team go out and win a Super Bowl championship in their first appearance. Lonnie, you follow football? Who do you got?
Well, I think the Super Bowl is a big stage, and I think we know that Kansas City's gonna be there. They've been there before. They know how to act. My concern is that if Detroit does make it, uh, how will they answer the call?
Right.
So yeah, I'm with you. I think boy, there's some action. There's a gaggle of cars right here. It looks like trying to get around Bob Burlew. There goes Chuck McDonald, and now Jeremy Gaiman is lined up behind the pass. But as much as I think it'd be a great Cinderella story, for the Lions, I think the Chiefs. That if I was going to put money on it, and I don't make enough money to bet on football, but I would say the Chiefs. I mean Mahomes, Mr.
Yeah.
Sidearm.
Yeah, that's interesting that you say that because I mean, no shame in my game. I'm a New England Patriots fan, born and raised New England. There's a Super Bowl against the Giants that they played. The Giants came to play. Patriots didn't. Guess who won? It wasn't the Patriots. So, with that statement, I just hope the Chiefs aren't, cocky enough to think that they're going to go into this winning it. And the Lions came to play, and the Chiefs think they already won it. So it's going to be an interesting game. I think so. It'll be probably one of the only games I watch this year. I will admit that. But I think it's going to be a fun game to watch.
Yeah. Well, the Chiefs seems like they had their issues, about mid-season towards the end, but it seems like now they're getting everything back together again now. I mean, that game today, the little bit that I got to watch, they had to work for it. The Ravens weren't going to, show up and just roll over and play dead. They came to play ball too.
Yeah. I'd like to see what the YouTube land, what they think. Who's your picks? Who do you got? You going for the Lions? Let us know. Love to see who you got.
Well, we're getting close to that halfway point, so it's going to be interesting to see if anybody decides to come down and get fresh tires, and it's going to be kind of tough to decide on what you want to do. I mean, I can say that Owen Lax, his fastest lap of the race so far has been a 31.38. His last lap was a 32.05. So he's running like 6 to 7 tenths off of his fastest lap right now. And if you decide to pit and some of these other guys decide to stay out because we already know they can make it all the way to the end on fuel, that's a big task to be able to come all the way back around, because you're gonna go one lap down, and you're gonna have to unlap yourself and get back around and catch them. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody takes on that challenge thinking it's the right move, or if they're just gonna stay on the track for the full 90 laps.
Hmm. I never even put a thought to that, but that's going to be interesting to see. My gosh.
I think if you're some of these other drivers, you know, if you know for a fact that you're not going to be able to catch Owen or Brian, then maybe you give it a try.
Yeah, I think so, because with the point race coming down to the final races, there, I mean, you really want to try to do anything you can to gain edges, gain advantages, especially the points, and try to have that advantage going into the last race.
Yeah, and speaking of trying to get an advantage, it looks like Chuck McDonald is just all over trying to figure out how to get around Jim Downham. He looks to the inside, looks to the outside.
Ryan Walter, it's on pit road, so he's gonna go with the pit stop strategy.
Yep,
See if
Biznet's in the pits.
Yeah, the halfway pits. That's what I was wondering. Was it going to be between 43 and 47? I think I got my answer. It's like right smack in between 45, 46.
and
Look at
makes
you.
makes complete sense for Ryan. You know, we saw he had issues and he had damage that needed to be fixed, I'm sure. So it made, you know, if I was him, I would have done the same thing. Go out there. Hopefully you can run faster laps and catch them, but don't want to go too fast where you burn those tires off, because then you're just going to be running the same times as them anyway.
He's down and away. He's already left pit lane. He's blending back in. Ty Bostic. Looks like Ty Bostic went off the track at one point here. We'll take a look at that there. Yeah, it looks like he spun trying to spun. Yeah, he was spun going down the road.
We'll take a look at that right now. See him here in the front of Dana Shepard. And he just got loose there in the center of the corner. Obviously able to save it and keep it going the best he could. And then at that point he decided to go on into the pits along with Jim Downham. So we got about close to half the field now thinking that the pit stop strategy is the way to go. Andrew Bisnet, Ty Bostic, Jim Downham, Ryan Walter, Dale Power. Actually, no, Dale Power pitted on lap 8. Derek Donna on lap 40. So we've got, looks like 5 so far have gone into pit. But still up front, Owen Lax, and I'm gonna say he's gonna stay out. He's not gonna pit.
He's maintaining that gap, so
he's got
probably until Brian. Yeah,
he's got no pressure behind. You know, he knows that you know, something crazy is gonna happen for anybody to catch him. Obviously, he's got the best pace of anybody so far. So, you know, make everybody catch you. Personally, I don't see anyone being able to, even with the new tires, to be able to catch Owen. I think that there's just not enough laps for that. But I think that there's, you know, potential for someone being able to maybe gain a spot or 2 at the most that's going on that other strategy. But it's still going to be a pretty difficult task. Because we got guys in the top 5 that have not been in the top 5, like Dana Shepard here in 3rd. We got Chuck McDonald and Jeremy Gaiman here in 4th and 5th, and that's all because Andrew Bisnet and Ty Bostic and Jim Downham all elected to pit.
Right, yeah, along with Ryan Walter.
So those 3 guys moved up positions.
And speaking of tires, I'm looking at Owen Lack's um, lap times over the course of the race, and he started out running mid 31s, and then went as expected, slowly creep up. So right now he's running 32 O's, 32 ones, 32 threes, right around there. So it looks like his tires, he's taken really good care of his tires. I mean, the lap times are going to get a little bit slower, but if you take care of your equipment, you're going to do minimum damage to your tires. So. And he's maintaining a pretty good gap. Brian Boyd. Well, he's opening it up a little bit now, isn't he?
Yeah, there's about a 4-second, I would say about a 4-second gap between the 65 of Owen Lax and the 78 of Brian Boyd.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Brian Boyd hit.
Well, I think if he was going to go on that strategy, he needed to have already committed, because
That window's already closed.
Yeah,
huh?
you need to have as much time as possible on those fresh tires to be able to run faster lap times. As you see now, we only have 5 cars on the lead lap, and all 5 of them are the ones that have not pit yet.
Yep.
So it's going to be one task just to get yourself back on the lead lap, and then you still have to get all the way back around again to be in any kind of competition with those guys.
Right.
These guys right here have been battling with each other all race long.
Well, to go back to what Josh was talking about earlier, is that, and I know racing in real life or in the sim, is that you tend to race the same people over and over, because you race, even though there's better drivers on the track, usually you end up racing around people that are at the same skill level that you are.
Right.
And there's outliers. There's like Bob Burlow is like one of the best at going slow on a long race. He'll be like way back in the back, and then towards the end of a tire run, here comes Bob waving at you when he goes by. See ya, because he took care of his tires.
Yeah, everybody's just slow and steady right now, that's for certain. 60 laps already into the books, 30 to go for the next gen race at New Hampshire International. Oh, sorry, I know it as New Hampshire International. Everybody else may know it as New Hampshire Motor. Sorry for my mistake there, guys. New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
So this is just a little progress update on the first car, the highest running car, I'll say, with new tires, and is Andrew Bisnet. And to give you an idea of where he stands, he's still 1 lap down And to give you an idea of where he is in position to the leader, see if we can get a good enough of an angle here for you.
Well, while you're working on that, Owen Lax, your leader, his last lap was 32.0, and Andrew Bisnet, his last lap was a 31.5. So that's what new tires are worth.
Well, you see Andrew Bisnet's going to be going across the start-finish line right now. Here's Owen Lax, about middle way through turn 1 and 2. So it's about a quarter of a track length, I would say, ahead. So still got a lot to try to get caught back up, get himself back on the lead lap. And then
he's got
a lot more
a
work
quarter
after
of a
that.
track, and then a whole mile to get back around again.
Yep.
Right.
You know, and again, if we go and we look at our, you know, we're talking about lap times. Not sure if we can get just those two gentlemen. I may not let us do that, but like you said, Owen and Andrew actually ran very well. There's about 4/10 of a second difference on the last lap, so that's not very much. I mean, it's basically to think that, you know, if it takes 31 seconds to get around here, it would take Andrew 3 laps just to get 1 second back. And you need 30 of those seconds, so you would almost need a full-length race just to get all the way back at that pace. It certainly would be interesting if we could end up with a caution, but you know, the way these guys have been driving today, and you know, obviously we have a little bit smaller of a field than usual tonight.
Mm-hmm.
It would definitely come as a shock for that to happen. See Andrew Bisnet creeping closer and closer to Owen to get his lap back.
Right. And if he gets them, if they get side by side, do you think that's enough to slow him down enough where the 78 can probably catch up to him? I don't think there might not be enough time.
And Owen really has no reason to fight with Andrew, so
Yeah, let him by.
and like you said, if it's you got to think about that if you're the leader in this scenario, and if you think there's a possibility that he could hold you up, and then your best thing to do is just let him go on by. There's no reason to battle.
Yeah. Yeah, because as the laps are ticking down with 20 to go, there was a 6.5 second gap between second and first place cars. So yeah, I think you are right about that. But they maintain that position. They've been running The top five not hit. They've maintained those same spots ever since the other rest of the field decided to go in. So it's all or nothing at this point, boys. That's the way I see it.
You can see Andrew was able to get by Owen, so he is back on the lead lap. Right now, the closest battle that we have continues to be here between Chuck McDonald and Jeremy Gaiman. I'm also trying to catch up on some chat too, and Daniel, we definitely appreciate you hitting the thumbs up for the stream. It means a lot. You know, if you're new to the channel or you're still a regular, if you're not subscribed, you know, there's a subscribe button right below the video. If you go ahead and hit that and support us, you know, it's absolutely free. It doesn't cost you a dime. We don't make any revenue off of anybody doing so either. But it just brings more people to the channel and lets them see what we're about here. Bring more attention to Tyler Daniels Racing. Get some more people interested in racing and have bigger car counts. Maybe some more exciting racing. I know that this hasn't been a edge of quite the edge of your seat kind of race tonight, but absolutely any, you know, subscribing, thumbs up, all that stuff helps with the great old world of social media algorithms.
Exposure. That's the word I think I like.
Exposure. That and it makes Josh feel really good inside.
You know, it makes me feel warm, kind of like a cold winter night, a log cabin with a nice fire going and some cocoa and some fuzzy socks and some
Man.
Nice and warm. But yeah, no, I do appreciate that. I work in the world of social media, so I know the likes and the subscribes and the shares. They all mean something, even if it's just one or two here or there. But eventually, those one or two grow into more, and then before you know it, you have a nice fan base and you have a fun time. And that's what it's about, really. It's all about having a good time, and I have a great time doing this. Ethan does like doing it. Lonnie seems to like doing it. So it's a fun thing for us to do. So we do appreciate the support. And that's our way. That's our way of seeing the support and seeing the appreciation is through the likes and the shares and the subscribes, and the talking and the talking in the chat, and, you know, keeping it awesome talk and things like that. So I love it. I do. Makes me warm.
We've had some more drivers that have been able to get back on the lead lap. Looks
Andrew
like
69.
Oh, I take that back. These guys did not get back on the lead lap.
Andrew was. The 69 was able to get around.
But Ty is working on it. He is definitely getting close. You can see there's Owen that just went by at the bottom of the screen. Whether or not he can get there in the next 11 laps, I'm sure he would absolutely love to be able to do that. We'll keep an eye on that and see if he's able to get back on the lead lap. But you know, as we approach 10 laps to go, it's been all Owen laps. had quite a little battle there with Brian Boyd for a while, but on the long run, he has just sailed away from everyone.
Looks like the number 28 of Jim Downham just had a little bit of an issue coming out of turn 2. Looks like his car stepped out a little bit, but he's back going in the right direction again.
And he just lost the position to Ryan Walter.
Yeah, it looks like he just spun it coming out of that turn 2 there, going to the back stretch, but he was able, as you mentioned, was able to straighten it back out. He did lose a position, but it could have been a lot worse for him. The spot he was in where he spun, he was okay. There was nobody else behind him, so.
Yep.
We do have a little
Kudos
replay
to him.
here for that. Just a pretty standard New Hampshire incident. It's a flat track, so grip a lot of times at a minimum.
New Hampshire slide.
Older tires too. I mean, granted, he's not as old tires as Owen and these other guys, but you wear them out enough, it doesn't matter whether you've been out there for 80 laps or you've been out there for 40. If you drive them too hard, you're bound to do stuff like that. And Jim was actually able to get back by Ryan while we were watching that replay.
Ryan is another strong driver now. I mean, he's not going to roll over and play dead. If he's got any tread on those tires, he's going to try and put it to the best use he can. Looking at lap 83 right now out of a 90 lap race.
Madeline Gilbert on the YouTube chat says, Boyd for the win, come on. So she's pulling for the 78, Brian Boyd. I'm sure he loves the support there, so thanks for that, Madeline. Thanks for tuning in to ET Drone Home Gaming. We have, next time by, we have 5 to go. Not quite certain the 78 machine has enough time to make it, but he does have ample opportunity to make a very strong finish and a podium finish in second place, as long as everybody keeps it straight and minds their P's and Q's, and could come out with a very, very strong finish tonight, that's for certain. So 5 to go. We'll see how this pans out here in a few moments.
Caution free.
Caution free. Commercial free.
Yeah.
Ad free if you're a YouTube subscriber.
Straight to your face. Because it's on a computer.
It's on your phone. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's true.
Or your mobile wireless cellular transceiver.
Look at Jim getting by the 04 of Chuck McDonald. Of course, that's not for position now. Chuck, one of the, 4 cars on the lead lap?
Chuck Newman?
We've got 6 currently.
6. Oh, that's right, all the way back to Biznet.
I better be careful. I call him Chuck Newman. He's going to race me harder tomorrow night in the IROC series. Better be careful.
That's going to be another great race. That IROC series, that's
tomorrow night.
Pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. Absolutely. If you guys want to see something fun, you'll be able to see a little bit of it if you tune in tomorrow night, if Ethan is broadcasting for sure. But that's going to be some fun racing. ARCA cars, Talladega, 30 of the best TDR drivers. Not that we don't have the best drivers, but 30 of the selected best here to run that series. It's going to be fun with 2 to go in the Next Gen series on a Sunday night. Getting excited about the Talladega race tomorrow night. We got 2 to go. Owen Lack still holding strong. Brian Boyd with about a 9-second difference in time. Dana Shepard, both those guys in the DEP racing team. Chuck McDonald running in the 4th spot. Jeremy Gaiman in the 5th. So Benny's going to be waving those flags here in a couple moments, guys.
Yeah, Owen's just got the white flag, so one more time around New Hampshire.
What a great race he has
Caution
run.
free.
Owen's a young fellow too, isn't he?
Yeah, I believe he's only like 16 years old. Yeah, so he's young.
Yeah, and
Okay.
you know, we've got his camera here as he
Crosses the finish line here to take the win, Ethan. Yeah, Owen Lax is your winner here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway in the Next Gen Racing Series. Brian Boyd was your second spot. Dana Shepard was your third. McDonald was your fourth. Jeremy Gaiman was your fifth spot. The last car in the lead lap fought hard to get that back. Andrew Busy Biznett in the 69 machine. Ty Bostic in your seventh spot. So it was a tough race there at the end with that top five there. They didn't take tires, so I'm sure they were slipping and sliding around there. As of right
Yeah.
now, those are your unofficial results. We'll have your official results coming a little bit down the line as we take a look at Owen Lax about to make some time to make the donuts, as we used to say when I was younger. Fred the donut maker from Dunkin' Donuts, as he gives it, he's going to burn it down here in New Hampshire International Motor Speedway, whatever you want to call it, folks.
Well, since you guys are, you know, we're still trying to work with you guys and, you know, learning the ins and outs. Do one of you guys want to go grab Owen, bring him to the booth?
Let me see if I have those options here. I'd be happy to. Give me 1 second. Nope. Maybe have Lonnie try, because it doesn't seem that I have that poll feature. So go right ahead and see if Lonnie can do that.
Well, I don't know if I can either. Let's see, where is he? Owen Lax?
Well, if you right click on his name and it would be all the way at the bottom, it would say move to. If you
No,
don't,
sir.
I do
then
not.
all right. Well,
I don't have those
I'll
permissions.
go ahead and grab him. We'll have to get that stuff situated with our community Discord manager. Get some
Hey,
settings
listen,
changed.
no worries. We'll get it taken care of.
All right. Well, we got Owen now. Hey, good job, dude. Great win. Absolutely
Wow.
dominated. You know, you had, you know, battle there with Brian there for a little while, but then obviously was able to just pull away. Did really good. Clearly was saving your tires, which is what you would have to do if you're going to run a full 90 lap race. You know, what was your? Did you have any thoughts at all as far as, you know, doing the halfway pit strategy like some of these other guys did?
I did consider it. I kind of was at the point where if Brian pitted, I was going to go in. And I'm kind of glad I didn't now, because I think that would have meant that Dana would have won. I think Dana finished third.
Mm-hmm.
So,
did.
you know, can't have that happening. So, but we were really close to a Grand Slam. All I had to do was not give away the qualifying. But I was too worried about hitting the wall. So,
Well, you did a good job. You led 89 of 90 laps. Owen, man, congratulations.
I thought I passed Ryan later than that.
It looks like you led 89 and Ryan Walter led 1 lap.
Wow. I thought I passed him around lap 4.
Well,
So
it could
Ryan,
be that
you're
iRacing
welcome
is
for your
wrong.
one.
Share the love, baby. Share the
Yeah.
love.
You gotta spread it out everywhere.
Good for you, man. Congratulations. Good showing.
Thank you.
Hey, well, absolutely enjoy the win, and we will see you here in, I guess it looks like it's going to be 3 weeks, because we're going to be off for the next 2 with the Clash, the real life NASCAR Clash being next Sunday night, and the Super Bowl being the following Sunday night. We know a lot of people are going to want to hang out with friends and family, watch both of those, so the Cup Series is going to be off for the next 2 weeks. And we'll be back after that for the first race of the championship 4 round, and I'm sure we'll see you then, Owen.
Yeah. So I guess I got 2 weeks to figure out Charlotte.
Absolutely, plenty of time to practice.
Maybe I just need to disconnect out of the first race, because every race I disconnect, I end up winning the next one.
All
Hey,
right. There
'Cause
you
I
go.
got,
You
I
got a
got jacked
plan.
up at Auto Club, and then I didn't even get to start last week. So
You'll get
Maybe
it
I just need
straightened
to
out.
disconnect more.
Congratulations, man. We'll see you next time, Owen.
Yeah, see y'all next time.
All right, buddy.
All right, let's get our second place finisher in here, Mr. Brian Boyd.
Here we go. Brian Boyd, congratulations on a hard-fought second place win. Golly, man. That was a long
Hey
race.
guys. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Second place is a win for me, man. Coming back, I
Yeah,
probably
glad
shouldn't
you're
even
back.
race tonight.
Well, we're glad you're back, and you ran a good, strong race. One of the things that Ethan had asked Owen did you give any thought to pitting it around the halfway mark at all?
Absolutely not. I was not pitting at all. Did you
Good.
hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was not pitting. I knew what my down and distance was in the car for fuel, and I knew that you're going to burn up your tires trying to play catch up if you did pit.
Well, I would say it takes a lot of gall to be able to go a whole 90 laps without taking tires there. So kudos for you on having the gall to do that.
Yeah, I was committed. I was talking to Dana about it. I said I'm not pitting, man. We're 5 laps to the good on fuel. I'm going to run it to the end, and if the tires work, the tires work. If they don't, well, we know next time.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. I learned a thing or two about New Hampshire tonight. That's for certain. So
I'll tell you what my tires were. I was 71-61 on the front, 75-75 on the rear.
Holy
Still.
cow. That's tire management right there. Man.
And like I felt like I got into Owen early on, and like I slid my front right, and so I felt like I had to back off and just start saving because I didn't know how bad I hurt it, and that's why I just stopped. I stopped pushing at that point because I didn't know how bad it was hurt, and I didn't want to ruin his race from overdriving the corner. So, yeah, I just kind of backed off and played it safe.
well, listen, you had a lot of guts, and congratulations on that P2 finish. It's got to feel really good. So good job tonight, bud.
Hey, man, it was, dude. I had a phenomenal race. It was fun. To be honest, my stomach didn't bother me at all during the whole thing, so that was good.
It's good to hear. I'm glad to hear that. I know you've been having a lot of issues the past few days with that, and I was kind of concerned myself through text message with you the other day, and I'm glad everything turned out okay, bud.
I told you I was running no matter what.
And we won't divulge too much, but just so you all know, I mean, this man just had surgery 2 days ago, and now he's still out here and finishes second. So
Wow.
Yesterday was my recovery day, so his surgery happened at I think 4 or 5. My girlfriend would know better, but 4 or 5 was my surgery and recovery, and then yeah, here we are.
Well, cool. Oh, and speaking of your girlfriend, Josh, there was somebody that was a Brian Boyd fan in the chat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you remember who that was?
I do know who that was. I absolutely do. I have wind of that person here, and you had a supporter out there tonight pulling for you, Miss Madeline Gilbert. So another shout out to Miss Madeline Gilbert, and I think Ethan has a shout out too, or something, or so. We all have a shout out to give tonight. So shout out to Madeline for supporting and being there for our friend Brian. So thank you so much for that.
All right, Brian. Well, we're gonna move on here, unless one of the other guys has something else they want to talk about.
They need to get to Dana.
Okay.
Dana ran a really good race too.
Yeah, he did. Good and consistent.
I seen him catch me. I was like, man, I got to stop saving.
Time to go.
All right, gentlemen, it's fun. Thank you for having me up in the booth. You guys have a great night.
hey, you
Sir.
too, Brian.
The rest.
Yes, sir.
I got a message that Lonnie may have the power, so try and see. Maybe Lonnie can maybe pull in the third place.
Well,
Dana Shepard.
Evening, guys.
Good evening. Welcome to the booth, man. Congratulations on a podium finish.
Well, thank you. It was a good run, you know. It was consistent and pretty much clean all the way.
so what would you
Did
say, was needed in order to be, as fast as, let's just say, Brian or Owen? I mean, I don't know if you have anything that, stands out to you. Say, okay, well, this is what I really needed this time that maybe you can carry into the next time we're here at New Hampshire.
Yeah, I think my spot was toward the middle of the corners. I was trying to roll through them, not really use the throttle too much. You know, I knew fuel would probably be an issue towards the end, so I was not going to pit through the whole race. I had committed from lap one I could go all the way, so I had to be very careful. But, you know, if we had a pit stop, I probably would have been going a little harder through the centers.
So where are you at in the tire strategy? Did you know going into the right into it that you weren't just not going to pit all the way, or were you just going to wait to see what the leaders did and go along with them?
Yeah, I did about a 30 lap run in practice and checked my tire wear and realized that it was not going to be an issue. And it really did depend on, you know, how hard guys ran in front of me, how hard I had to drive to sort of keep pace. But once the guys started that pit cycles, I realized, yeah, I was going to stick to my strategy and I was not pitting. My lap times were not dropping fast enough to even, I wasn't even concerned about it.
Yeah, it seemed like you and four other drivers were probably on the same mentality and the same strategy. So, that's a great P3 finish for you and Brian Boyd, where DEP Racing has a double podium finish. How's the setup running? I know you got the triple monitors going now. You were having some issues before in the video card and everything. You got everything running tip top now. Everything's good.
Um, yeah, well, I think so. I ran a league last night and about five to go, my connectivity acted up. So Brian's actually gonna jump in here and see if there's anything he can see. And we, you know, it when you start jumping up in these kind of levels and running these many leagues, you got to have the right stuff. And after the 24-hour last weekend, I realized I needed to do some improvements.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did realize that too. And that's what's great about the iRacing community, especially here in Tyler Daniels Racing, is we'll help each other out. We'll stay up late. We'll get on live video with each other to try to figure everything out and make everybody run in the most optimal they can within their budgets and with the equipment that they got. So I'm glad you got it all taken care of. And I hope you guys are staying warm up there in the New England area, racing your home track at New Hampshire Motor Speed. I kept calling it the New Hampshire International Speedway, and I had to keep correcting myself because I'm just old habits die hard. But so congratulations on a P3 finish, Dana. It's always good to see you running. Get to learn a lot from you, and I hope to see you coming soon. Enjoy your 2 weeks off here, and we'll see you back at Charlotte.
Yeah, I will definitely. Yeah, I got to go outside and move some cars around. We're going to get, I think, an inch an hour through the night here. So by morning, it'll be interesting.
You can
But
have it.
yeah, that's fine. I think the skiers up here will much enjoy getting it. So, but thank you guys for having us here, and thanks for all the support and everybody watching the broadcast. Of course, DEP for these great paints. This paint I actually ran tonight has actually driven on this track in real life. So
Mhm.
it was kind of cool to put the paint on the track in the sim world as well as in the real world. So that was cool.
very cool.
Boston strong all the way. All right, Dana, have a good couple weeks off, and we'll talk to you real soon, buddy. Stay warm, stay safe.
All right, thank you guys. Have a good night.
All right, see
You
you,
too.
Dana. All right, I think it's gonna conclude our interviews. We got all of our podium drivers tonight. Obviously, as always, we appreciate everyone that comes out, supports TDR, supports us with the broadcast as we try to grow. Obviously, we got some exciting things in the works here with Lonnie and Josh, and we want to continue to build on the broadcast program that we've got, and I think that we're going to have some pretty cool stuff coming. And hey, I mean, if you're part of TDR and you have any interest in being a part of this. Find someone, let us know, and hey, even if you aren't a driver, maybe you're a family member of a driver, and you have some interest. Even if all you want to do is you want to come in the booth and with us and you want to chat for 10 minutes as a guest, more than welcome to. Just get up with, like I said, get up with somebody in TDR that can get up with Jim Downham, myself, um, you know, Josh, Lonnie, any of us, and we'll try to get it worked out so that way you can be a part of the team in any way that you know you're capable of, or something that you'd like to do. And like I said, we'd love to have anyone and everyone that is willing to volunteer and help out. So it's only going to make things better. So once again, thank you everybody. We had a lot of people in the chat between the Garage 73 team. We had Madeline, Jim, we had Daniel Parent, Sharon O'Neill, Thompson Drone Works, Ginger Parent, Paul Vosberg, Marty Brown, Andrew Bisnet. And it looks like that covered everybody except one person that say thanks to. I don't want to get yelled at for not thanking
Big
this.
integral part. I mean, this person is definitely a big, integral part of a lot of operations that go around here. So, absolutely agree.
So, we'll
No
make
more
sure.
yelling.
Thanks, Jess.
Thank you, Jess.
Thank you, Jess.
So, again, thanks everybody. And like I said, we're going to be off for the Cup Series for the next 2 weeks, and we'll be back for the first race of the championship round. Tomorrow night we got the IROC Series at Talladega. Tuesday night we have the Truck Series. If I can remember where the Truck Series are, I haven't exactly kept up with the schedule over the course of the week. Kansas on Tuesday. And Wednesday, we got the season opener for the iRacing Warriors Motorsports Cup Series League at Daytona. Josh is a teammate of mine in that, as well as Ryan Walter, who you saw in the race tonight. The three of us will be the DEP racing team trying to fight for a championship over there in that league. So, more than welcome come and watch that over there on Wednesday. It'd be streamed from my camera point of view. And that's everything that we got on the schedule for this week. So thanks, Josh. Thanks, Lonnie. Appreciate you guys being up here. Thanks for everything that you're trying to do going forward. And
of course.
we will see you guys soon.
Yeah, we'll see you soon too. Glad. Thanks for having us up here and start learning the ropes and things like that. I just wanted to make one quick mention myself. I know we were giving out some shout outs. I am running the IROC series for our night. Then Tuesday night is the final race in my league for the grassroots racing series where I'm leading the points. So I'll be fighting for a championship that night. So I got a lot of practicing to do here, but I do want to thank everybody who's been supporting me through that run. And through the whole series has been kind of up and down with it, but I want to thank everybody at DEP, DEP Graphics and Racing, Crash Racks on YouTube, Ethan at ET Drone Home Gaming for his support and everything there in that run. So hopefully I can come back in a couple weeks and say, hey, we got a champion. So we'll see what happens, guys. But I want to thank everybody for the support in that, and to you, Ethan and Lonnie. Glad to have you in the booth, buddy. It was so much fun.
Well, thank you, Josh. I appreciate it. I have a good time with this, and best of luck to you and to Ethan in your championship bids that you've got coming up. And I would just like to say, I don't think that a lot of people understand how much work that goes into putting on this broadcast. And Ethan, you do such a good job. And thank you so much for your time, your effort, your advice, your tutelage getting Josh and I up to speed, and we hope to do you proud. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely not a problem. I'm sure you guys will do great. So, all right, everybody, we're out of here. As Josh likes to say, stay warm, stay safe, and we'll see everybody soon.
Hi, guys.